Hello, everybody. Welcome back to day 2 of our work today. I'm Ryan Dumlao. I'm a product manager here at Adobe on Photoshop, and I'm here with Magdiel Lopez.
Hello.
So this is our second day. I didn't tell anyone yesterday, but yesterday was my first time ever streaming on Adobe Live, and I think this is yours as well.
First time as well.
Hopefully getting a little bit more into the rhythm of things,
Yeah.
getting more comfortable talking to everyone and watching you work. So let's look at what we have for the rest of the day today as well and kind of recap what we've seen so far. So we started the morning with the Daily Photoshop Creative Challenge, which we'll go over a little bit later on today to look at some of your submissions. We had a compositing stream with Anna McNaught. We did the XD Creative Challenge, and now we're doing our digital imaging, as well as coming right after this will be the Illustrator Creative Challenge. So with that, why don't we jump into, let's take a look at some of Magdiel's work if you haven't been familiar, if you weren't able to join us yesterday. So Magdiel is an artist out of Dallas. Tell us just a couple sentences about yourself.
Yeah, I'm from Dallas, Texas. That's where I live right now. I'm not originally from there. I'm originally from Cuba, but I live in Dallas, Texas with my lovely wife and my 1.5-year-old baby. Yeah. And I have a lot of fun doing work for some cool people, and also I get to play around with Photoshop to make my poster series and have fun with that. I did a poster every day for a year. A while back, and then I just kept making posters every day or every other day or so after that 1 year as I can. And it's been so much fun, and I can't believe it's the 30-year anniversary today, and we get to sit down and hang out and make some more cool art using Photoshop.
Yeah, bringing that up. Today is Photoshop's 30th birthday,
Yes.
so happy birthday, Photoshop. You see I've got my hat here, a little bit of a
He's got all the cool
celebratory artwork for Photoshop. So we're here to celebrate that this week, as well as just celebrate all the artists and creators who have been able to use Photoshop and Adobe's other tools to just blossom their experiences, their creativity, their careers, everything. So let's say hi to some of the people in the chat. I see Voodoo Val's back, who's our moderator. I see Jan or Jan. I don't know if I was saying it wrong yesterday, so I will just switch to Jan today just in case, because I see Jason. I see Sienna again. Welcome back. I see a lot of people in the chat today, so let's jump over to, let's take a look at what we actually created yesterday. So that's already now live on your Instagram. So we've got this year, we call it Summer Heat. It was a crowdsourced name for what this asset's going to be, or was going to be. So you started with the stock image and really just created this great looking poster composition with lots of colors, some flowers you brought in from Adobe stock. And also, we did a quick, I asked him yesterday, how do you do some of these cutout photos? So for example, like here, or let's say this one here. So I thought this effect was really cool. So you gave us a really quick rundown on how you would do that on this photo here. And so you started with just showing us how to kind of cut apart the head. And I see last night you worked this into another great creation.
Yeah, everything I did was just like I dragged the hair down a little bit, added some texture in the back, and just added some font on top of it. But basically, what you saw yesterday is pretty much how to do that. Yeah. Pretty simple.
It looks really cool. Just some housekeeping to make sure. We're going to be doing the Chat and Win challenge in about 30 minutes. So make sure all you got to do is be here on the Behance chat channel. And we'll run that. The prize again will be 100 free Sticker Meal stickers for the winner. So stay tuned for that. As long as you're here in 30 minutes, then you'll be able to participate in that. And then at the hour 30-minute mark, we'll do the design challenge review. So we'll go through a lot of your submissions through this morning's design challenge, which was to create an illustrative book. I have to remember. Let me pull up what the exact wording of the challenge was. Design a book cover with a realistic embossed effect using layer effects. We provided some assets for that, so we're excited to see what you guys have for that later today. So I think with that, we can get right into what you want to do today.
Let's do it. So today I thought instead of doing a portrait, we could do something more like a landscape. And I'm gonna go to my Instagram real quick and look for some samples of what that would look like. And just so we have an idea of few things that I've done in the past that kind of looks like what we're aiming for today, kind of. And you can feel free to follow along. Everything you would need is like a landscape kind of photo, and maybe a person, kind of like something like this, where you have a subject over here in the bottom, and then you have like a landscape, a lot of colors, textures, stuff like that. So we're gonna go for something like this today, and go ahead and open Photoshop. I already have my board here set up, and see what size this is. It's 18 by 22. I'll go ahead and make it a little bit smaller so we can run a little faster today. If we use any effects or anything like that, it'll be faster if you make it smaller. Okay. So I'll do 9 by 11, and I'll do 300 dpi. The only other thing that I have here is that sometimes I use this text around the images, and you can see it if I do a black background real quick. You'll be able to see what I'm talking about. So I use this for the number, I do the name of the poster over here, and I do my name. If you want to do that as well, follow along. And what we're gonna be doing is that the first thing that we need would be a landscape photo. I downloaded this one yesterday, and I really like this kind of desert looking thing. It tends to look very spacey. When you do the right colors, it looks like an out of space kind of deal, like, maybe Mars or something like that.
Of Star Wars a little bit.
Yeah. So go ahead and, find an image like this if you want to do this with me. I'm gonna go ahead and make it super big.
And so you got all these photos from Adobe Stock?
I got all these images from Adobe Stock. Yeah, last night I went in there and I selected a few of them, and I can go show you guys the ones that I've selected on my library, if I see, and maybe some of these images we'll use tomorrow for our final final day. Maybe we can do an astronaut tomorrow or something like that. Yeah. And we have all these cool images. You can kind of see
space theme there,
space theme and stars and all of that.
Nice. Yeah.
So I have these ready here to be used. And the first thing I want to do here is that I want to go ahead and I'm going to do like a little drawing on top of these with I don't have a pen or anything like that. I'm just using the brush real quick so we can have an idea of what we're going for. So we're going to have like a subject here with like a shadow maybe. And then the idea is to have like a, like a big subject here, maybe like a head.
Okay.
And then we'll do colors up here on the sky. Nice. So that's kind of the idea, kind of like a sketch for it, if you can just imagine that.
Yeah.
So we'll go for it. First thing I want to do is that I want to go ahead and cut these mountains back here to get rid of all of the sky. Okay. And what I'm going to actually do is that I'm going to do it on the original photo so that I can go ahead and keep it this way for the rest of, if I need to use parts
so you
of
can
the
pull
photo.
It in if you need to.
Yeah.
Because before you dropped it into the document, it's a smart
I dropped it in the document because I wanted to get an idea of the space that we were using and show you guys what we're doing today. But over here, I'm gonna use the, what does this tool use? The object selection. Yeah. Yes. So we're gonna go ahead and use that to select the sky, and I'm just gonna drag it on top of it.
Which, just as a plug, Object Select just came out on the iPad version of Photoshop today. Yeah. So we're excited about that.
That's cool. We need to try that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just selected over the...
Oh yeah, look at that.
Very easy. And it did really well over here. And, you can go ahead and go in there and refine these if you need to. In this case, I think
There's actually an option on there. It says Enhance Edge at the top, and it will try to do that refinement on the top menu bar.
Over here?
Yeah. To the right, there it is, yeah.
Oh,
so if you click that, it'll kind of refine the edges for an easy selection like this, where there's just a kind of transition between the sky. It'll do that for you.
Oh, nice.
But you have to do it. You have to reselect once you've have that option.
Okay. Yeah, Let's do it again then. So I just go over like it.
And then if you look at it or mask it, like right now it's just showing the marching ants, but if you look at it through like an overlay view or something where, you can see it's a little bit smoother of a transition. So if
I see. It makes it more like round, right? Like it fades a little bit. I love that. All right, so we're gonna grab this, drop it inside of the other document. I'm gonna get rid of the other one that I had before. And I kind of want this center space right here to be the center focus of the whole thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and place it right there. I'm gonna go ahead and make it a little bit bigger.
Valentis loves your pen work. He says, "Do the pen for the fans."
Oh, the pen tool?
At some point, I'm sure.
Yeah, we're
We'll
gonna get there. We're gonna have to use it. I want to get rid of these right here.
Okay.
I usually do the clone tool or do these
The spot healing.
do the spot healing. I know there's a new tool that's coming out that's supposed to help with this.
Oh,
and
yeah.
make it easier.
It just came out today. It's called Content Aware Fill.
Content Aware Fill.
Yeah.
Maybe you can teach me how to use that one, so I don't know myself. But I'm just gonna go ahead and do these. I think we're gonna be covering this space anyways.
Yeah, that seems pretty easy enough anyway.
Yeah, and because
it
it works because this background is so like, it has so many random shapes and all of that.
Yeah.
It kind of works with this. You can even do it in some of these. I want to get rid of this little one here as well. That didn't work right there. This one right here. Yeah, there you go. So we'll get rid of those. And yeah, I'm happy with this. It's a good starting point. Something that I loved that, I've never used before, because I usually make my own gradients with using the brush. What I've done in the past is that I come in here, create a new layer, and then pick a few colors to work on the sky. So sometimes I pick if I want to do like a sky kind of deal, go from a yellow.
Okay. Get that
And then we
desert feel.
transition to, maybe something like this. Behind it. And then
So I see we're getting this one and the last one, a good summer theme.
yeah,
Looking forward
a
to the
little
rest
bit of
of the
summer
year.
theme. We'll see what it turns out to be at the end. 'Cause I'm gonna probably do some colder colors towards the end. But yeah, it's looking pretty summery right now. And then we'll do black up here. Yeah, and then I'm gonna combine those. So usually I've done my gradients like this for a long time, because it gives you a little more control over what you're doing. Sometimes I also add a new layer on top of all of these, and I do a white one closer to the mountains itself. You see, and that gives it a really good
nice little glow there.
kind of glow, like the sun just went down. And I've done that in the past. Something that I was looking at Anna's and Paul's stream before, and they were using these gradients, and I have never used these gradients before, and I was just amazed at how good they look. So
You mean the preloaded gradients?
yeah, the preloaded gradients. Yeah, because I've always go in here and I go into the the regular ones.
Oh yeah.
And I never use those, but now they show these today, and I'm
selection.
like, these are so cool. You can just grab this one. It's something already that kind of looks like that.
Yeah.
And you can just drop it on top of everything. Yeah, and they look already like super good, So if you don't want to go through the hassle of making your own gradients or anything like that, you can go ahead and use, there's so many here that are so good. So you just go ahead and use one of those if you want to do that. And the next thing, we want to do like a statue head or something here in the center that's maybe older or like falling apart or coming apart. And I did a little sketch last night of what I wanted to look like, so I have a pretty good mental idea of what I want to make it look like. And I'm gonna go ahead and select this image right here. I downloaded this as well from Adobe stock.
Okay.
And this is really cool and well lit image of this statue right here. I'm gonna do the same when they're selected with the object select tool. And
so easy, look at that.
so easy, yeah, you're pretty much there from like just
Especially because it's got a
one selection.
static background, a single color background.
Yeah.
Makes it
So
much
when you
easier.
have backgrounds like that, it's so easy.
Yeah.
Like, it just makes it amazing. I don't have to use a pen tool. And yeah, so we'll copy these. Oh yeah, it's a little rough around these.
Yeah.
I should have probably worked on that a little bit, but I'll do it right now on the other side. You know what? Let's do it right here. Let's go to the refine edges over here. And I'm gonna try to rescue a little bit more of that, you know, by going through the edges a little bit.
Yeah. Make it a little less of a sharp transition.
Yeah.
In those edges.
Maybe what I should have done to help Photoshop a little bit process this is to, what I usually do is that I create a layer on top and I edit the levels to make it extremely bright.
Oh, like you showed yesterday.
Yeah, extremely dark. And that helps this process
okay.
a lot of like, you know, making it easier for the selection to happen. Because you can see over here, you know, it's like mounting it a little bit. And then if you go with this, it helps a lot, you know. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this real quick. These are all, you know, every time you have to like cut an image and all of that stuff, that's the boring part. It's the beginning part where nothing really creative is happening. It's just like work, you know?
Yeah.
Just gotta get that work in for it to look great.
Gotta put in the elbow grease.
Yes, you do. And you know, the more you do this stuff, that's the cool thing about this. It's like anything else. The more you do it, the better and the faster you become at it. And later it just becomes second nature, if that makes sense. Yeah, over here was struggling because it's
a little bit blurrier here.
It's blurry,
right?
so what you can do is like select it with a very sharp edge, and then you can blur it with the blur tool if you want to do that. But yeah, this is a good selection right here.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and get rid of the background, bring it over here to this layer.
Yeah, to answer Dorina's question, that's the Refine Edge brush within the Select and Mask workspace.
Yeah, so you basically click on, once you have a selection, you click over here.
Yeah.
And those options will come in after that. Yeah, so, you know, let's go ahead and use this head right here in the middle. We'll place it. I imagine it here like going into the ground. So
like planted in the dirt, kind of.
Yeah, planted in the dirt, like it's like, you know, half the face is under the dirt. So we're gonna go ahead and make that happen right now. I'm gonna place it in the center of the frame. Maybe a little bit to the left. And, you know, I imagine cutting right here, going over the nose, and going across over here.
So we're doing a cutout today.
Yeah, we're doing a cutout to
awesome.
place it on the floor, basically. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and start over here. And what you want to do every time you're cutting something out is like you want to imagine it as it being 3D. The shakes are gonna come out in a circle, if that makes sense. And then we're going back in, and then we're coming back out with the nose.
So you're following the contour of the face as if it was a strong line.
Exactly.
On their face.
Yeah. Also, you got to keep in mind here that you have a floor, you know, and the angle on the floor is a little tilted from your eyes, you know. So you have to kind of follow that along to make it look like it's actually resting on that ground.
So it takes a little bit of practice, and
it takes a little bit of like figuring out, you know, and having that imagination of how this would actually look in real life. Over here, every time you have the nose, imagine it goes to the other side of the nose and comes back out like a little higher. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you gotta, you know, get to this point over here, cut it in a little bit, maybe not that much, maybe around there, and then at the end, I'm gonna finish with this round, like that. Let's actually take a look at that real quick, see what that looks like before we actually
do the actual cutout.
Yeah, maybe we can give it a little bit more here in the nose, you know?
Yeah.
But you can already tell it's looking
It still looks like a good perspective, yeah. Like as if you did slice right through.
Yeah, and I do use a lot of, you know, the pen tool to make selections. I think it's a really good tool for that.
Yeah.
Especially when you have to make stuff like this, it's more like free flowing.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, I think that works. Maybe make this one a little bit rounder. There we go. Yeah.
Looks good.
That works right there. Fixing over here.
Looks like he's wearing a mask.
Yes. Yeah, it's so useful for all of those things, you know. I'm actually gonna invert this selection and then make a copy of these real quick. I know I could probably just make a mask, but I'm not really gonna use the rest of that. So
you're just gonna have just the top of the face.
I'm gonna have the top of the face.
As if it's in the ground.
Yeah. as if it's in the ground. Yeah. So yeah, we can maybe shift the perspective a little bit. There you go. I think I'm happy with that.
Looks good.
Yeah, that looks
stuck in the dirt.
That looks like it's in there already a little bit,
Yeah.
you know. Another thing that I want to do is that I want to create these cuts within this.
Within the existing face.
Within the existing face to make it look like it's hollow. And
Okay.
like something is inside of it, maybe floating or something
cool.
like that. So, you know, for that, we're going to keep using the pen tool, actually. And what I'll do is that I'll keep making copies of what I'm doing on top of this one head.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll keep this head, you know, like over here so I can see what I'm doing. So I'm gonna start over here. Again, follow the face. I'm gonna get over here and it gets a little higher because of the hair. And I'm gonna finish right there. Boom.
Okay.
So that's one of the selections. I copy paste these. And you can see already where we're going with this.
Yeah.
We want to take pieces of what this statue is and make it kind of float, and other ones are going to be resting on the floor. So
Oh, cool.
we're going to do another one here where this comes in, goes into this right here, maybe. And
So
again,
it's kind of like that face exploded a little bit.
exactly,
Yeah.
like it's coming, you know, it's coming apart. So with everything that you're making at home, if you're using this video as a guide to make something, just remember like it's not gonna work exactly like what I'm doing with your image because it might be different. So if it takes a little bit of time just to sketch it out and see what things would land.
Yeah.
You know, like over here I just made this selection and looking at it, it might be a little too small. Maybe I need to grab a little bit more of this side of the face. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually get rid of it and do it again. You know, and feel free to explore and take time. This stuff like takes time to get used to and learn, and that's the process that we've all been through.
Yeah.
You know.
So what kind of spurred your interest in this type of, cutting out subjects and cutting them apart, that type of style?
I love Dali's work. Salvador Dali, the painter. He does a lot of like this kind of like surreal floating images, and
Yeah.
they're all cut out, and there's things everywhere. And he used a lot of circles to make this stuff happen. So that's a big inspiration for me
Okay.
when it comes to like cutting stuff out like that. And there's plenty of people that do it as well.
Yeah.
Right now, I've been doing it for a while now, and I just it's become part of my style now. I love it, and it's fun. And the cool thing is that every image looks different.
Yeah.
And you can make everything be different, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, make sure if you're doing this, don't try to do exactly what I'm doing. Use what I'm teaching you as a as a stepping stone to do what you want to do. Yeah.
I'm gonna go home and try this. Become a master of the pen tool too.
Master of the pen
Pen
tool.
Jedi.
Yeah, so I started using Photoshop when I was 13. Like I was mentioning that yesterday.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff that I'm doing right now, maybe if you're trying to do it at home, you might get frustrated with, oh, it's not looking the right way, or it's not coming out the right way the first time. It's not going to. It's going to take time. And that's the beauty of this. You can develop it, and then in the future, you can you can kind of like show yourself and show off to other people that now I've put all this work into this, and now I can create these things. Yeah. This part over here is a little boring because I need to keep making cuts.
I guess I can use some of that time to show off my product, which is Photoshop on
yeah.
the iPad. So if I'm gonna switch
Please
to
do.
this, I'll just do a quick demo for a couple minutes to show.
Yes, please do.
Yeah.
Please do.
So, as of this morning, we released version 1.2 of Photoshop on the iPad with a couple new features. So I'm just gonna go through this really quick right now. So the first thing we have is typesetting. So when you added a text layer on the iPad, you didn't have much control on some things like tracking and leading and some of the formatting stuff. We just hadn't built it in yet. If you had it on your document already, it would show up. Let me move this around so you guys can see what I'm actually doing. So I've got a text layer here, and let's say I'm making, I don't know, an ad for umbrellas. I can use my object select tool, which, oops, I'm on the wrong version, or wrong mode. and I'll cut that out. But let's say I want to make this look a little more professional as an advertisement. So now I can select my text and I can change the tracking, which is the space between all of the letters. So let's say I want to set this to something bigger, like 375. There you go. A little bit, looks a little classier. It's kind of spread out the text. I can take all this other text here and maybe it's for me, it's too bunched together. So I can now change the leading, bring that, space it out a bit more, just to make it look a little more like an advertisement. I can say something like buy only the best. But let's say, well, I don't like how the capitalization is here. I can do all caps, I can do small caps, that kind of thing. So a lot of the features you would like on desktop for text and type, we've brought in here. The one thing that we don't have yet is kerning, and that's kind of a UI issue, so we're working on that, and that'll come in soon. The next thing I want to show, still working?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oops, is object select. So I brought this up earlier. We have this in the app now, so now you can bring in and have any of your images. Let's say I've got this, and if I did what we have already is subject select, or select subject, it'll select both elephants. It's not necessarily what I want. So now I can use this object select tool here. Let me pull this up. On the left, you see this little thing with the square. I can select that. I've got different options to use a rectangle. I can do that enhance edge we were talking about earlier. And I just realized I created a mask on the elephant, which is not what I wanted to do. So I'll delete that mask. Just draw it around the one elephant that I do want. Looks good. It looks a little bit, actually a bit sharper than before, but there's still some refinements I want to make. So for example, I don't want this space between his legs, so I can subtract from the selection, remove that. I can add more. I can refine this a little bit more. And then I am ready to mask that off. And so I've got an elephant right over here. So you can do that, the way that I do this is I just take random pictures of animals and just make fun scenes because that's what entertains me. Yeah. So I can do that. I can take this owl, shrink him, put him on top of the elephant. I can take a flock of geese and only pick maybe a couple of them that I want to actually be in the scene and mask those off and throw them over here. Then the last thing is I'll bring in this big pelican, and I don't want that blue jay actually, and I can use my object select tool on him, select, just get him. And looks, I need to refine this a bit more. So if I'm on the add selection tool or option, I can just keep adding to that selection to what I think might be a little bit more accurate. And I can use the lasso tool to improve that as well to be more precise. And I'm not gonna spend too much time on it, but you'll see you've got a lot more fidelity with your selection tools now. And that for us, that helps us to really highlight that the iPad what we really built this around for the first version is compositing, bringing in multiple photos together, kind of what you're doing, and we were able to use some of the tools that you used here, like object select, to make these types of images. And so with this, and then what we have coming soon, which will be Refine Edge, which you used also as well, we'll really round out that selection tool set, which is very vital for a lot of people on the iPad. So for today's release, we have object select and those type settings, and we're really excited to bring those out and bring those to people, just to show a lot of the stuff that's coming out that's cutting edge on desktop. We can wire that up to the iPad fairly quick. We just got to make sure it's the right tools and it looks well and it's easy to use. So that's my quick demo.
That's super cool that you can do that on the iPad.
Yeah.
That's super cool. All right, so coming back to these, I made a few selections from these, so you can see it's kind of like pieces of these all brought together. And what we're gonna do now is make it look like it's a little bit 3D. Okay. So
pause on that. We have to do the chat and win countdown.
Oh, let's do that.
So let's first.
Let's go for that.
Not to break your flow.
No, you're good.
We got the fire. Welcome back. and we're ready for our chat and win segment. So what we want you to do is just come into the Behance chat and just drop in a line. Let's say, what's your favorite color? Let's see what people put up. And as long as you put something in the chat window, somebody's gonna win 100 free stickers from Sticker Mule. So let's see what we've got. I see Jimmy says he's so ready for this. Barb is not sure what this is. I wish I could give you this PS hat, Eric, but this is mine. It's dear to my heart.
I want one too.
Cool. So Brian says red. Jan says orange. I see purple, blue, another purple. Navy blue, lots of blues. Blues, green. Jimmy's got orange. Isabella has green. I see a lot of people throwing in their color. Oh, mint. That's a unique color.
Mint,
I didn't see it. Jimmy Mitchell. Looks like you win the 100 free stickers from Sticker Mule. Congratulations. But not everyone, everyone's not going to go home empty-handed. We also have this promotion here. You can get 10 stickers for $1 if you go to stickermule.com/Adobe Live 20. So put that URL in your browser and go ahead and create some cool stickers or buy some cool stickers so you can just throw them in your laptop like we did today. So yeah.
I need some of those stickers. Yeah.
All right, let's get back to it. Let's take a look at your.
All right, let's do it. So yeah, over here we have this kind of like cut up head. It doesn't look like anything interesting so far, but we want to give this like a 3D aspect look to it. So if you imagine the head being round, you would it would take kind of like a space on the floor.
Yeah.
Maybe like this, So what you want to do with that is you want to create a 3D space within there.
Okay.
So I combine all of those shapes in this layer right here. And what I'm going to do is like underneath, I'm going to create what the back of that would look like. So all I'm doing here is like going with the pen tool, imagining how this would look, would end right there, and it would come around.
Oh, interesting.
And I'm going to add
creating that like the backside of that fragment.
Exactly, yeah. So, it looks kind of flat right now, but if we make it the right color, or maybe a little bit lighter, and if we add like a shadow inside of that.
This is awesome. This looks really good.
Then you can, really make it look 3D, three-dimensional. Also, something else that we want to go ahead and do in all of these is maybe do an edge on this top layer.
Okay.
So the way you would do that is that you duplicate the layer and drop it inside the same layer, like a mask. And then you would take the bottom layer and distort it. So warp it a little bit, and we'll bring it out. It will make sense in a second, promise. And once you have that, the other thing you can do is drop a layer between those two layers, and see, it gives it that
just a little bit of
3D
perspective on that.
Perspective look on it. And you can do white if you need to, depending on the light. Like over here, white looks really well, and over here, darker.
That's a nice little tip. I like that. That's
really
cool.
So it's easy to do, it's fast, and you can just get it done that way. Right now, everything looks like it's off because the lighting is bad on everything. Nothing looks like it's part of anything. But let me go ahead and do this 3D effect to everything, and then we're gonna work on the light a little bit.
Okay.
And what I'll do is that I'll drop between these two layers. This is the layer with all of the stuff. This is the layer with, I'm gonna do a group here, call it back, front. Then between these two, we're gonna create a new group, and we're gonna call it center.
Okay.
And then the center, we're gonna do, right now in the center, I'm gonna do a sphere. We'll do a sphere, place it in there, and
it's like the sun.
Yeah, you can do anything in this sphere, in this space. You can do flowers, you can do whatever you want. In this case, I'm gonna do a sphere. I'm gonna go to outer glow, and we're gonna do like a glowing sphere.
Oh, nice.
Kind of deal.
It's the orb of intelligence.
Yes, there you go. Yeah, and the cool thing about this is like, if if you keep adding a little bit of perspective into all of these pieces, is going to keep looking better and better and better.
And so you changed the blend mode on that glow to, is that the dissolve blend mode?
It is dissolve, so it kind of has that noise. You don't have to make it that way. I did it in this case. I might end up changing it. So we'll see. I'm trying to go fast. It's a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
Making all of these things, you know, look like they make sense.
Looks good. This is really cool.
We'll add over here like a 3D aspect to this.
Oh, kind of the back of that one, right?
The back of this one. So that would be kind of like this, maybe. Cool thing you can do with the pen tool is that you can move, you know, you can move once you land it on here. If it's weird, you can move it by pressing, you press space.
Okay.
And you move it. And if you've landed it already on it, you can also change the, you know, 1 point to go a different direction. It's pretty, you know, maybe everybody knows that.
Good tip for people. No, I mean, sure, people that are still trying to master that pen tool like me, those tips are helpful, just understanding what makes your workflow a lot easier.
Yes, it makes it so much easier because you don't have to redo it every time.
Right.
We're going to drop this layer all the way in the back layers.
Oh, look
and, you know,
that.
It makes a lot more sense. Yeah, when I did it the first time, it might look a little off, but once you start adding all these pieces, it starts looking better and better and better. The back is darker. We're going to do another one right here in the back for this one. We'll go ahead and, you know, maybe right here.
Nice, and have it go behind the orb bit just to show some of that perspective.
Yes.
Just encapsulating it.
Yeah. And we'll go ahead and place it back here.
Nice.
It's all black. One thing that would help this a lot if this had that edge. So we're gonna go ahead and create that edge.
Oh,
this one.
The 3D edge.
The 3D edge on this, yeah. So we'll put it in here and then again, warp this a little bit. Like so. It's hard to tell because there's not layers between them, but you'll see right now, I'm gonna paint it white a little bit.
There we go.
And do black over here. And you know, I'm not doing any textures inside of that or anything like that because I'm going pretty fast. But take your time to, you know, do textures inside of that look like rocks.
Like if you want to look at the back of the hair or something.
Exactly. Or you can do like a rock texture between those two that goes the other way around, and that's going to add a lot of, like, you know, perspective to it. And we can do that towards the end if we have time.
Okay.
I just don't want to, you know, finish this and for it to be kind of looking weird. I'm trying to hurry. Yeah. So this one in theory doesn't need any perspective because it's so straight on the camera. I mean, we could also add some to it, but we're gonna do this one back here behind this piece of the face. So let's go back to the back group, and we're gonna go ahead and add that to this.
So Ziva's asking a question about when he's cutting the sculpture, how do you cut with the pen? And so I think what you're doing is using the pen to create a shape, and then using that as your selection, and then pulling that out, so cutting that piece of the sculpture out and pasting it. So
yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. I make a selection and then I select that shape and use it to cut or to make a mask within the layer.
Okay.
So you can, you know, you can do that. It's always like super easy to do.
Yeah.
The better you become at it with the pen tool, the faster you'll do these selections. I find it really useful to, you know, to make selections with. Over here, want to give that kind of round look. And you can see even on this one, I drew it first, and then now I'm adapting it to what I want.
Yeah.
You can also add points.
Looks so real.
If you need to, you know, like over here, I wanted to break a little more, so it looks too round. So
looks too good.
Thank you. Yeah, so you can add like a point over here and bring it in a little bit. So it has more of that rocky texture.
I like that.
To it, right? Yeah, so it's looking good now. You can see the sphere is inside. You know, if you move it around, it will really look like it's inside now. I want it smaller. In this case, let's see. Yeah, something like that would work.
Oh, looks good.
And yeah, something else that we can do now is combine. Let me see what this layer is. It's in back, so it's supposed to be in here. This was part of the back as well. All right, so we have all the back layers here, all the center layers here, and all the front layers here. Cool thing is that now you can apply a gradient map to the statue in the front, just to make it look like it fits in more with the landscape.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do a little bit of
colorize it a little
coloration.
bit.
Yeah. So if you change whatever you put here on this side, it's gonna affect all the highlights. Whatever you do here in the middle is gonna affect all the midpoints. So if I want all the midpoints to be this color, you can make it so.
Okay.
In this case, I'm gonna keep the midpoints kind of in the middle like that. And what I'm planning on doing is darkening also the background, so that it feels like everything belongs, you know? Also, if you drag the black, it'll become sharper, the shadows. So you can do that as well. And you know, this tool is really useful to make colorful and psychedelic looking things, but it's also useful to make, you know, your color modes blending a little better. I'm gonna go ahead and do a couple things with the background. One is I'm gonna desaturate it just a tiny bit, and then I'm going to do some curves inside of that. The top image, this image right here, it's a lot sharper, not sharper, but the shadows are a lot more intense than the background. So that's something that I want to kind of go ahead and edit as well. And that's over here. I'm gonna make it a little bit darker, maybe not quite that much. Maybe that much. Yeah, we'll fix a little bit more of that in a second.
Okay.
Something else that I want to do to it is give it a dramatic shadow, because also our subject is going to go right here, and he's going to have a shadow as well. That looks cool and dramatic. And
is the orb going to be the light source for that shadow?
No, so I'm thinking the light source comes from here.
Okay.
It's kind of strange because this you know, his face has the light coming from my right. That's right, yeah, from the right. And also we have this light back here, right?
Oh, right.
We're ignoring that one for now. And what I might do as well is that I might add on top of these an artificial light coming from over here.
Okay.
That's the cool thing about all of these. You can just make it your own, you know, and have fun with it. Yeah, we can do kind of like a light source from here that gives it that look that there's a light coming from that side as well. We're gonna do some shadows on these. And you know, you were telling me yesterday about using like the overlay, right, to create shadows.
Yes.
On things.
And how to do like a dodge
instead of
and
using dodge.
Tool, yeah.
So basically, you know, we'll do something like that where we did black and then we're tuning it to, like, we're converting it to overlay.
Yep.
It brings, saturation gets really, you know, strong when that happens. You might wanna change the color mode or whatever to fix that if you want to. Or you can just leave it like that, or in this case, I'm not sure yet what I'm doing with the color.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do something like this right now. And then I'll go back to it and I see what I wanna do.
Okay.
It definitely needs shadow down here, going this way.
Alexander was asking about that a bit earlier. How do you do the shadow on the head?
Yeah, so the shadow on the head is a little tricky because you cannot really do like a drop shadow or anything like that.
Yeah.
You know, you have to kind of draw the shadow on the floor.
Yeah.
So I'm basically going to do the same thing and imagine what the shadow would look like, basing it kind of on the light coming from here.
Yeah.
and the way I want it to look, and I want it to look pretty dramatic. So what I'll do is that I'll basically draw this shadow. I'm drawing it for this side.
That pen tool work.
Yeah, you gotta, I'm telling you.
Everyone in the chat is so enthralled by
you have to go with the pen tool.
skills.
So we'll do that shadow right there, and obviously it's not, this side is not good. Shadows, like water or anything like that, they need to look straight horizontally, you know, if you're doing it on the floor.
Yeah.
So the more, you know, the better you do that, the more horizontal it is, the better it is. And I forgot to press shift while I was doing this. What I'll do is that I'll add another point here.
Okay.
Then we'll extend this over here. We're gonna have to create a new one for this side anyways. That works for here, and then I'll do another one for the other side. That takes on this whole kind of like circle, you know?
Yeah. Nice.
And yeah, maybe I need to extend this one a little more because now the other one is longer. Yeah, and maybe inside as well. Yeah, and then, you know,
good.
over here it needs to end on the nose. Yeah.
Cool.
You're basically painting, you know,
Yeah.
with shapes. It's kind of like doing vector on Illustrator a little bit.
It's
But
nice
over
because
here,
with the pen tool, since you're creating a vector, you can adjust it. Like you're like, oh, this doesn't look perfect. I can pull this out a little more.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and that's really useful. Another thing that you can do after you're at this point is that you can, you know, grab this shadow and maybe erase a little bit of the edge over here. Erase a little bit of this, you know, this side.
So you're working on the mask right now for that shadow.
Yeah, I'm doing. I did a mask on the pen tool on the vector. What would you call that? In smart object, right? No,
That's a
it's
shape.
the shape,
essentially.
on the shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you would just erase a little bit, you know,
Yeah. Just to make it a little more.
give it like an edge, like this.
Oh, yeah,
and
that
also,
looks
you know,
good.
the shadows wouldn't look black. They would probably be like a maroon kind of color. So you want to do that as
Still
well.
some part of the background that's just darker, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
and if you have the opportunity and the time to make, you know, these even darker or like play a little bit more with the shadow, like over here, like, you know, if you make it maroon, like over here, it's not black anymore, so it looks kind of weird, you know.
Okay.
So if you can make it a transition, so where it's like black and it goes into that, or you can even switch it to multiply. Sometimes that helps. Maybe add a tiny bit of color to it. I just want it to be really black right here, close to the.
Okay. Yeah, because that's
To
like
the
no light
object.
is going to be around that area.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that you can do is to add a little bit of. Let me see. I want to do a little bit more here. You can do the blur tool on, you know.
Okay, it's just the edges and stuff.
On these, but you have to make it a rasterizer, right?
Yeah.
Or make it a smart object.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, you have to rasterize it.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and do that because I feel like I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
And we want to just blur it a little bit.
Eric Sue's asking, how can Photoshop turn 30 today when it was owned by Adobe since '88? I'm not sure when it was owned by Adobe, but the celebration is based on the first release, so the version 1.0 of Photoshop to the market. So it was in development before that, but when it actually hit the market, when people could buy it, was 30 years ago today.
Wow. Also, in theory, because there's light inside, we could also, like, you know, kind of get rid of this shadow. And we can play that with that in a little bit to see what that looks like. For now, I'm gonna go ahead and do this.
So you rasterize the layer.
Yeah, and I'm gonna I erased it by accident. I'm gonna blur it a little bit, the edges of it.
Okay.
to make it blend a little more with the floor. Yeah. Cool. That's looking pretty
Good,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, let's go ahead and bring our subject in here. I downloaded a photo earlier today. I think it was this one. We're gonna go ahead and get the subject out. And again, I'm gonna try to do the trick with the
The second layer, you pull out the contrast of levels and then get those edges better that way.
Try to separate as much as possible the subject from the background. You just want to make it super dramatic. Just
There you
looking
go.
a little better. Yeah, and this, let's see what this looks like. If it doesn't do it right,
Yeah.
because it's a little tough, especially this section down
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
I'll do the pencil real quick and try to get it out as better, as good as I can.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks pretty
You got
good.
most of
Look
it.
at that.
Check the shoes.
Every time
Maybe
I'm
you
impressed
can-
by this every time.
You can add on, so this one here is to add to your selection. So now
can
if
I
you
just click
drag
shift?
again, same thing as clicking shift. Actually, yeah, you can do either way. But you can keep doing that until you get the part that you want.
I see.
And then the space between his legs, if you hold Alt, you can turn it to subtract mode.
It's like a
and then-
negative.
Yeah.
So let's try to subtract that.
There you go. Look at
Yeah,
that.
did pretty well. Let's do it again. All right, so I'll select that and then let's see what that looks like.
So yeah, probably still some areas to refine, but
Yeah, I selected from the wrong file.
oh, because you're using the
Yeah, so I was using the top one is
Yeah.
the one I
layer,
did
the leveled
with
one,
the
yeah.
levels. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So let me refine this real quick. I think because this image is gonna be so small inside
Oh, it
that.
might not matter, or you might not see it.
Yeah, but I need to fix the shoes, especially because everything in here is so sharp because we've done so much like
Right.
of the pen tool and all of that.
Right.
I don't want to keep it super unrealistic. If that makes sense,
Right.
This would have to be sharp as well.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, so I'll go ahead and select it. Trying to see here what the best way would be. I'll go ahead and select it with the pen tool.
Yeah. Tried and true.
Yeah, especially because it's this bottom.
Because you want those
like,
sharp edges for sure, right?
yes. Now, again, I'll go inside of the photo a little bit, just so that we have that wiggle room there, and we don't
Yeah.
have to go back and fix this. Then you'll have this white edges.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this photo is gonna be so small inside that frame. You won't really be able to.
I think you're making a little tiny guy looking at this giant head
Yes,
statue.
yes.
Okay. Valentis wants to see you stream more. I think everyone just loves watching you work.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we'll be here tomorrow as
Yeah.
well, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe tomorrow we'll do something a little more similar to what we did yesterday.
Just kind of free flowing, starting from
Yeah.
some photo and expanding from there.
Yes. Trying to do something like that. Be really cool.
What's up, guys?
Hello.
You could turn off that pixel grid. Command H.
Oh,
Oh, you have it set to not hide your preferences, but hide Photoshop. That's what Command H
Okay.
is set to. I'm sorry.
It's
it's
okay.
okay. It's okay.
It's guest appearance
Hey.
by Paul Trani.
Yeah. Paul's trying to show us the way here. But it's cool. I like the pixels too because it makes it look like a mosaic.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But this is cool because you can, get an idea of where everything is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to turn down the opacity here so we can see the bottom layer.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna go home and just play with the pen tool for
Yeah,
hours
pen
until
tool's
I get
such-
to
so
your
much
level.
fun.
This is always so enthralling to watch.
Thank you. I'm trying to keep it entertaining with I'm trying to hurry up and cut it quickly. I'm going faster than I usually would because
Still looks pretty good.
over here you see like even to the eye it gets a little lost. It's tough for the software to recognize.
Yeah.
Those edges are.
Yeah, especially when the photo's a little not as defined.
It's
Like
not
I
as
like your
defined,
trick
yeah.
where you pull out another layer,
Yeah.
boom the levels up so you can pull out that contrast. I think that's really good. Something I'll probably start doing too.
Yeah. See, helps it, you know, kind of like get it.
Yeah.
I imagine the software already kind of does that, you know, on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, like here it's even hard to tell from my eye where the shoe ends. Or where the other one starts, you know? Oh, I lost the... Where it is, okay. I'll do this right here, boom.
Cool.
Perfect, we have a selection now. We're gonna go ahead and copy and paste this guy into our, into our thing over here. I'm gonna drop it all the way in the top. Yeah, so you can see he's already like, he's not sharp at all, like everything else is. So we're gonna need to edit that to make him look super sharp. These tire marks are throwing these off a little bit.
Is that what those are?
Yeah, I think
so.
they are tire marks, yeah. So I might get rid of those as well using these. Let's see if this does the job.
Spot heal. Let's see.
It's like magic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it works. Yeah, and at the end, you know, I might turn this whole thing into gradient. But
kind of like you did with the jacket of the subject yesterday.
Yes, yes. So I might even go ahead and do that at the end, but I want to make it look, the starting point to be, you know, as realistic as possible, and then we can just go from there, if that makes sense. I'm over here trying to make this look like it belongs. I might do it with the levels, kind of like what I did. You know, I'm just gonna copy this one.
Oh, the levels.
Yeah, the levels one, because
it's already pulled out high contrast.
It is, yeah. It looks more like the image, you know.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to add a light to the right over here.
Yeah.
So he looks more like he belongs in the scene. Even make him that small, you know.
Just walking through the desert, sees this giant statue. I was like, what is that?
I don't know what this is over here. We'll get rid of it in a second. You see, I'm so used to like just doing the pen tool that I was gonna use the pen tool to erase it. Now over here, because it's so small, it's like basically layers, layers, not pixels.
So this time you just use the eraser.
I'm just erasing the pixels, basically. Over here's wrong. There we go.
There you go. And all that precision with the trackpad. It's very impressive.
Yeah, you know, you're in the go.
Yep.
You have to use the trackpad.
Yeah.
You have no options. You gotta get good at it. Let's see if we can pick this, because you know, when it's pixels like this, it adjusts to the pixels that.
Oh, the nodes on the shape will be.
Yeah, but hopefully it looks decent.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah, then we delete it from here.
There we go. Perfect.
Okay, so that's, you know, it's looking good. Still needs more contrast, so I'll do a bit more contrast on this guy. It's brightness. And then we're gonna go ahead and do his shadow. For that, I can either duplicate this or bring this to already vector.
Oh, you're gonna use his. Oh, okay. Oh, the shape that you created with the pen tool.
Yeah,
so your selection
that way it
doubles
doesn't
as your
distort.
shadow.
Yeah, it doesn't distort as much.
So efficient.
Trying to save time. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and kind of like try to match. Whoops, freaking out a little bit. Trying to match this shadow back here.
Nice. That looks good. That's really cool.
Into that. Boom.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice, quick.
That's working. Yeah, maybe I'll lower the opacity on this one as well, so that it fits in a little more. Yeah, what do the people say? What should we do here? I'm trying to figure it out if we can do something fun.
Yeah. Do you want us? Let's see. Let's see if people are saying. I think they're just really wowed by what you've created so far.
You're enjoying these?
Yeah.
You're liking it? So I'm erasing the right side a little bit. Not erasing it, but I'm adding black on top of it.
Okay.
You can see it there.
I'll just show more of that shadow.
Before and after. To make it look like the light is coming through a little more through the side. And you know, again, all of these things are the limit is what the time you have and how much effort you want to put into it. But you could, you know, obviously do a shadow on this side of the cloth. I'm gonna go ahead and erase a little bit of the edge of it. So it looks more realistic. Yeah. And same thing, you can do. This is something that Hannah does super well, and she was like doing it even on the previous stream.
Yeah.
Like, you know, adding glow and adding, you know, like the other side of the. So check out how it worked for that.
So Jimmy says maybe use something with lightning from the orb.
Oh, that might take a little long.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I'm actually a little afraid to do that. Yeah, we can try it. We can try it. Let's, you know, let's keep playing with this. Maybe I want to turn this sand over here in the middle into water. What do you think about that?
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
You know?
It's rising from the water.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and try to do that.
Okay.
No promises. Again, what I'm doing here is just pen tool, going over these. The cool thing is that this ground already has this sand that separates from the ground. So you can make it look super realistic. Not realistic, but you can really get the shape of what the water would be.
Yeah.
From the photo itself, which sometimes on the other poster that I talked about before we started making this one, I had to, there was nothing there, so I had to draw it and imagine it was there.
Yeah.
That's a little more challenging.
Here. Yeah. You have some foundation to.
But over here, you can just like go in there.
I wonder if that probably used to be water in whatever photo this
right? And
started
just, like,
as. Yeah. Or like maybe it's like a dried sand riverbed or something.
Yeah. I bet it is. So back here, we're just gonna do this. Cover this rock. Maybe, yep. Make it look round. So it's that. And we're gonna place that on top of the background. I think it already is.
Cool.
Yeah, we need to add a little bit on this back side over here. A little more of that river. Again, feel free to, you know, get really picky with this.
Yeah.
If you want to, like, you know, go around this rock.
Yeah, if you got all the time in the world to perfect it, yeah.
Or if, like, somebody's like either making something for, you know, for a client, and it needs to be super, you know, detailed.
Yep.
Go ahead and take that time, because those details is what actually makes things amazing, you know. Yeah, I'm over here messing up. Let's do straight. Boom, boom.
Nice.
Yeah.
It looks like he spilled white ink.
Yeah, it looks kind of cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah, now the shadow looks a little weird in the water, but.
Oh, true.
Yeah, but whenever so the water reflects everything, so we will have to do a reflection of everything that's going on here in the middle, and everything that's going on in the background, and duplicate it and put it in the water, right? So Trying to think how we will do that. Easiest way.
Fernando's asking what's your favorite tool. Maybe he's asking the chat, but for
Yeah.
you, I'm gonna guess it's the pen tool.
My favorite tool. My favorite tool is, I would say the pen tool right now. At least right now, the pen tool.
Yeah.
Trying to think of what else I use a lot. Yeah, pen tool all the way. Yeah, because it basically lets you paint on your whatever you're making.
Yeah, yeah. Which is
And that
really
makes
cool.
it so cool.
It's really
so
versatile
easy.
because you do selections, you can do painting,
Yes.
you can make whatever shapes you need.
Yeah, let me find these. Okay, here it is. So I'm gonna group these. No, I'm not gonna group those. I'm gonna move them on top of these. All right, so that's that. I'm gonna group these now. I have the shadows in here for some reason. Let me move them out as well. There they are. Okay.
There you go.
And then now we have over here. This would be the water.
Okay.
Let's make it blue, just so we remember. And inside the water, no, I have another group in there. So I'm gonna combine these two so that we have, this whole selection inside of one.
Okay.
And what we need to do is that we need to create a background for these that we can dump inside the water. So right now, you're seeing the same background inside the water. And now we're gonna flip it vertical. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So you can see it's like a reflection
Wow.
inside of that already. And we need to line it up really well. So it would like line up kind of like that. You can really see it over here
Nice.
on this edge, right? And then we need to give it like a watery effect. So we can do that by maybe going to, let me approve this selection real quick. What's going on? There it is. Let me go ahead and save this just in case.
Yeah.
I realized yesterday we finished the poster. I went back to the hotel and I hadn't still saved it.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Well,
we're
in
saving
this
today.
version, if you start with the Cloud Dock, which is our new way of having files that can sync between, those auto-save after, I think once every 5 minutes. So, and I think there's still also a recovery system in regular files where you'll recover some of your work. It'll periodically save.
Yeah.
I've had that happen a couple times.
That's super useful because
Yeah.
that happens so often.
Yeah.
All right, so inside of these, we can do blur, motion blur, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, to give that water look. Maybe. I don't know if anybody has any suggestions on what we should do to make it look more like water. Feel free to do that. I'm gonna duplicate this just in case. I'm gonna go ahead and do the blur, motion blur for this. Click OK. Yeah, so right now, it's kind of looking like that.
Yeah.
And what we can do as well is like make this bottom thing the color of the sky a little bit, maybe like a blue.
Yeah, Jimmy said maybe use some of the sky gradient if you reverse it. There we go. Yeah, that looks like it's more reflective of the.
Yeah, it just needs to be brighter, right? There you go. Yeah, and what we'll do now is that we can add like some. Let's make this color mode. Maybe that will help.
I like the green.
Yeah, that's
You just take the theme of all the colors you like to use and those primary colors.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what the edge over here came out like that. Maybe because it was too close to the edge.
Where is it? Oh, over there.
Yeah. One of my favorite things here is that, oh, you can see that.
Oh.
But I'll move it over here. There you go. One of my favorite things about this, the new warp tool, is that you can actually, get this to work. I'm trying to zoom in a little bit so that, okay, there you go. So you can use the warp tool and make these lines, like a vertical line. And you can place it right here, for instance, if I want to expand only this side. Does that make sense?
Oh, I see.
So that
So
way
you're drawing where the
Yeah.
portions of that box that you're actually gonna warp.
Exactly. So if you do another one right here, it will only affect from this point on.
Right, yeah.
And that way you got complete freedom over that. And in this case, I want to expand that because I don't like the way that looks right there on the edge. I'll expand it like this. One more thing that this needs for it to look like there's water there is maybe doing some shadows inside this.
People like the green.
People liking the green.
Consensus says, yeah.
Like I might switch it a little bit more to bluish so it matches more of these over here, but keeping it like lighter blue maybe, you know. Yeah, with patience here you can just like draw a little too big, like do like an edge over there. And I don't know if you can tell what I'm doing, but I'm trying to raise that ground a little bit.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
Adding a
yeah.
little shadow there will make it look like it, you know, like the ground is lifted above the water a tiny bit, you know. And again, all these things are just like time consuming, and it depends on how much time you have to actually get them done. If you have the patience to do it. And over here I'm gonna draw, you know, on top of the top one, but I'm gonna go ahead back and go ahead and
Erase
erase
the
it.
bottom part, yeah.
Oops. Oh no. Am I drawing on top of this?
Oh, I think you're
I am drawing on top of that, I'm sorry. I'm gonna switch to this layer. Perfect. I want to get the edge. Perfect. Now erase this top one.
There we go.
Perfect. That's working. And let's go back to the water because I like it, but I think we can do a little better.
So playing with the blend modes here.
Yeah, I'm playing with the blend modes. I like this because it's linear. It's affecting the color of the bottom layer. Yeah, that's looking kind of like water. We'll do a shadow over here. Oops, gotta put it on top of it. Shadow over here. Do some shadows here as well. We gotta do some highlights as well, I feel like. There you go. Maybe on the edges.
Brighten up a bit, you know, get that sun, that light
The
reflection.
light reflection, yeah, in there. Maybe we'll do it also. We still have to do a reflection for the whole face,
Oh yeah.
but you know, we'll get there. There you go. That's a reflection for that. Let me get rid of these shadows for a second. Yeah, they look like they're floating too much.
The outside shadow looks okay if you leave that in.
This one right here?
Yeah, that one looks like it kind of fits since.
Yeah, let's see if I can do a where is it? Waves. Maybe I can do the waves going the opposite way. And I don't know if, you know, people in the chat have to use this before.
This is like one of those old school filters I played with a long time ago.
Like a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it lets you do this. Wish you could see this a little bigger.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It lets you do these waves.
Okay.
In this case, I'm trying to make them
Ah, look like it's like there's ripples in the water.
like the ripple, yeah.
Yeah,
But I'm
yeah.
trying to make it look the other way. Make it go instead of like this. Go
Oh,
like
I
this.
see. Yeah.
I just don't know how you can do that. Maybe I can just
I'll rotate it and do it.
yeah. Oops, I'm doing it the wrong way, right? There it is. And we'll do it now. So distort, wave. A little too much. I think I'm going here with the flow and trying to
Yeah.
do something new.
kind of cool. I like that.
Okay, let's
Yeah, I
do a
wish it
little
was
less on that. We'll see. What I can do is that I can
Blur it maybe or something.
yeah, or duplicate it before I do these.
Mm-hmm.
Cool thing is it's already saved here, I believe. Yep. Now we have both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'll do a motion on top of that. Motion blur. It gives it like a softness to the top layer.
Okay, that looks good.
It goes
I like
like vertical,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it blends in a little more
that. Mm-hmm.
with what the water would be
That shadow looks really good now.
right there. Yeah. So let's go ahead and do the same thing for this one. I think instead of doing that, we'll do the motion blur to the top one. Motion blur. And what I'm gonna have to do here is that I'm gonna have to delete outside of that selection, you know,
Okay.
or at least delete this side.
Oh yeah.
Because
yeah.
when I did the motion, it bleed into.
Right, right.
So what I'll do is that I'll delete it outside of that because I want to keep it standing on the left side,
Yeah.
but not on the right side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's looking better. Now also the problem is that it's black, so it's not blending well with the water. I'm gonna have to make it like a
Oh yeah, just a bit darker of that shade.
like a darker, whatever the darker color is here. We'll do the same. Maybe for this one, add a little bit of like a tint of blue
Mm-hmm.
to it. Let me combine these two as well. We'll do color balance. We'll make it a little bit bluish. Yeah, it becomes like a greenish blue,
Yeah.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
which makes it look a little more natural. Let's do the same with this one, or you know what? I'll keep it this way.
I think that looks good.
And I'll make it a tiny bit darker around the edges.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, there you go.
Looks good.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
looking like it belongs in there. Yeah, let's do some color mode on top of everything, like a color balance.
Mm-hmm. We got a little over 10, 11 minutes left before the design feedback. So,
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, so let's
A
hurry,
little bit of time.
try to do these. Kind of like these colors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try to do. I like using this texture as well.
Oh wow.
Where we can drop that texture inside the water.
Oh yeah, kind of like that. It's if you
Yeah.
have like oil in your water and it's mixing around, because that
And
rainbow
I'm
effect.
sad we're getting to the end because now it's where the fun part begins, where you can like actually make, make it cool and
Yeah.
add colors
Yeah.
and have fun with it. But yeah, let's add this to the water layer. I don't know where that water layer is. Would be nice to know. Have so many layers.
Layer 27.
Yeah.
We were just talking yesterday about how some people are very organized with layer naming. I am not one of them.
Yeah. So now you know I'm not either. Yeah. So let's do this right here. Maybe do color mode. Let's see what this looks like. Actually, I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not, but we can try to do these and then erase it. Do a mask in it.
Nice.
It won't let me do a mask. Interesting.
What are you looking for?
I'm trying to do a mask inside of this smart. For some reason, it's not letting me do it.
We'd like like what you're doing.
You like it? Great, great.
We just had to say.
Paul approves.
And Anna.
We're doing, and Anna too. Yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good.
I guess we go home now.
Yeah,
Let's
we can go home. We did it. Yeah, for some reason it's not letting me do a mask
That's
inside
weird.
of that. I'll rasterize it if we need to do that. There you go. Nope,
The mask button's not working?
it's not.
That's so strange.
That is strange. No, I'll do it old school and just erase it. Yeah, so we have this
Nice.
kind of just on the edges, you
Yeah.
know, maybe. That's cool.
Oh, that's
And what
good.
I'll do, I'll go to the top
Wow.
again, and I'll do a curves. Make it all stand out a little more.
Bring some of that luminance from the right side.
Yeah, makes it pop a little more.
Nice.
One thing that brings everything together, like if you're struggling with, oh man, I don't know if it feels, you know, like it belongs to the same place because
Yeah.
this has a lot of noise and this doesn't.
Yeah.
Just add a bunch of noise to everything. It doesn't have to be a lot.
Right.
But if you know, if you go to noise tool and you add, I'm adding noise to this top layer right here. I'm
So
only
the-
adding,
of the statue.
yeah, just a
Okay.
tap. And I'm gonna go ahead and do that with all the statue.
Okay.
You can see it, it's coming through now. And if
Nice.
you do it to the background as well, you know, it kind of makes it feel like it's part of the same world.
Yeah, yeah.
It gives it this this look that is, you know, particular. So be careful if you overdo it, because there's no way you can come back from
Oh,
it.
yeah, because that one's
Yeah.
a destructive filter.
It is what it is, yeah. But if you convert it into a smart object, I believe you can do it as well. But you see, if you do it to everything,
Mm-hmm.
it makes us, you know, super, like it's part of the same world.
Yeah.
Kind of deal, like the photos taken all together.
Yeah,
It really brings it together.
that looks good.
So you can go ahead and do that or not. In this case, I'm not gonna do it. So I want to keep it as clean as I can so I can keep editing on
Okay.
top of it. Let's see. So this one, we'll lower it a little bit. Like what was going on. Maybe we can do a layer on top and do like an overlay layer.
Mm-hmm.
How are we on time? 7 minutes.
7 minutes, yeah.
Okay, we're good. I'm trying to hurry up too much, maybe. Okay, so maybe overlay and do it like a crazy color. See what this looks like. Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah, so it gives it like this glow.
nice. I like that.
Yeah, and you can get rid of it in the parts. For some reason, my masks is not working. You see?
That is weird.
Maybe freaked out with all the layers. So if you want to show something, I can probably take a break from here, close it, and open it back up again, so we can.
Yeah.
If not, we can just keep
Hold
going.
on.
I just make it all.
Let's just stick with yours for now.
Yeah. All right. So what I did here is that I deleted that from. I'm picking the layer underneath,
Mm-hmm.
because in theory, this light, this color should be inside of
Oh, yeah,
these
yeah.
and
So you
not on
gotta
top
pull
of
that
that.
That purple.
So I'm
coming
deleting.
out.
If I had a mask, I would do it on the mask. But over here, I'm straight up deleting it on top. You can see it right
Yeah,
there. See? So we'll go ahead and do the same up here. Select it. Delete it. You know, so we can keep it inside within that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the cool thing about this is that we can switch this. We can play with this color.
Mm-hmm.
If we feel the blue a little more, you know.
Yeah, I wonder what color works best in this.
Yeah.
Maybe more yellow. I feel like you got that tinge of yellow on the sky. Maybe not.
Do like that maybe? I don't know.
Yeah. Actually, if you want to stick with the crazy color, really more pronounced than yellow is probably too
Yeah.
too.
Let's keep it
Too
right
subtle.
there. I'm gonna go
That's
ahead
good.
and go back to the. Remember how I said I might switch that mode on the glow
Yeah.
to have no noise? It has noise now, so
Yeah.
I got rid of the noise
Ooh.
right there. It looks so much cleaner.
I like that. Yeah, that looks good.
Looks clean. Yeah, it's looking good so far. Obviously, things that we can switch here. We can make this the color mode on these. Make it a little bit more purpley, since we have the purple light. You know. Now this light here in the center is purple as well. Yeah, that's looking better.
Nice. Jan wants to see stars.
Yeah, let's do stars.
Okay.
Let's do stars. I don't know if I downloaded stars. Yes, I did. Here they are. Stars coming in hot.
Perfect.
Okay, so we'll drop these stars. Yeah, let me go back because I'm dropping it on top of that. Let's drop it on top of the background. Yeah.
Nice.
Boom. And then we're going to change this blending mode to lighten.
There we go.
That gives
Look
it the
at that.
stars. And if you want them to show a little more, you can go to the curves. You can bring them.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you can do less or you can do more. We'll keep it happy in the happy medium right there.
Nice.
And yeah, this is like bottom heavy right now. This whole thing. So we can just actually like move everything up if we can. If we have the we don't have any more canvas back here.
So you can extend the ground a bit.
So we can use clone tool and
Or you could do your transform warp tool, right? And maybe just drag
let's try that
the bottom
actually.
part down a bit.
I'll be a lot faster.
Yeah.
Or we can just do it. Yeah, let's do that. Right click. Oops. Right click and do horizontal. We're gonna try to span from here down. Basically grabbing this, extending it down.
Nice. All right.
So I wanna. There we go. Perfect.
All right.
That's looking good.
Something got shifted on the mask, the purple mask on the top. If you look, I think it didn't move up with the rest of the layers.
Oh yeah, because I have it locked. Yeah, let's go ahead and unlock that. Move it up, all the way up. Yeah, it's sad that I don't have the mask ready for that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to kind of put it in there.
But
That looks okay, right?
yeah.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, we have this right here. Something else you can do if you want to get more crazy with colors. I'm gonna get rid of the oil, I think. Let me see. No, I like it.
Yeah.
It just bothers
Nice
me
and
here a
subtle.
little bit.
I was like a little too strong over there.
Yeah, so let me go ahead and erase it a tiny bit. Yeah.
There you go.
It's like a subtle kind of deal. And what we can do now is that we can add something to the sky, or maybe add, let me save this one and make a different version so we can play with it and we can keep this one around.
Okay.
Something that I've done in the past a lot is that I just come here and paint over the mountain.
Yeah.
You can see it just a tiny bit.
Like this, that tinge of purple or pink.
Yeah. And then we can switch that if we don't like that. If we're like, no, pink is not working, we can, you know, color overlay. We can play with something more extreme or something less extreme. Kind of like how that fades into the background a little bit because it makes it kind of disappear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Nice.
Over here with
Nice
this light
effect.
on the side, we can probably do it a little less white. Yeah. Something like that. Cool. Yeah, I'm liking that.
Looks great.
Let me go ahead and save it. Start a new one. And then over here we can do, I think something else that we can do is that we can grab some of these mountains again. Let me make sure I'm on the background. Yep. We can keep going,
Have it.
you know?
Yeah.
You can add it to the all the way down here. Here you are. Okay. Yeah, we can do this.
Oh, nice. Just to add a bit more. Okay.
Make it twist a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Looks like the Himalayas.
Yeah. Then do the same thing. Put on this side.
Nice.
This way. We can just keep playing with that,
Yeah.
you know.
Why don't we switch gears a bit, and
Let's do it.
now it's time for the design feedback
Oh,
challenge,
okay.
or design challenge feedback. So
Yeah.
today's challenge was to design a book cover with a realistic embossed effect
Okay.
using layer effects, and we gave a couple assets for people to use. And so let's jump into that. And so we'll start over here. I think, this is yesterday's. Or we have some additional submissions from yesterday's design challenge, which is to celebrate Photoshop's 30th.
That one's cool.
Yeah, I like this one too.
Look at that. Yeah.
So
Nice and simple.
we'll start here. Someone just made a book and made it look a bit embossed with the 30. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts on this?
And it kind of looks like, for some reason, it reminds me of the Photoshop logo. You know?
Yeah.
A little
Might have
bit.
been
So it
the
has that.
intent.
Yeah, it has that nice, cool look, realistic
It's
as well.
got the marching ants from selection or
Yeah.
for the marquee, so that's kind of cool. Like
I would have
little-
probably brightened the 30 a little bit more, just so it stands out a little
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
Maybe do like a light inside of it, so it looks like it's shiny.
Yeah,
You know, different
kind of like the
material.
Photoshop logo. How
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
got this little PS here. Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. All right, let's go on. So there's more invitations from yesterday. Here's another book. All right, so we've seen a rendition of this yesterday.
Yes, I remember this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like, I think it's like the same mock-up, right?
Yeah.
The
Maybe
30 hat as
some
well.
of the text is pulled out, so I think that.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. It gives it like a nice texture.
Yeah.
Yeah, we commented on this one yesterday
Yeah.
as well. That's
Let's
cool to see
see.
it in the book.
Photoshop 30, better than ever. Nice. So I see some of the, it looks like a bevel effect, I guess, that you put on the layers.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it sure looks like that. And I would just not split the word Photoshop like that.
Yeah.
Because it's like hard to tell.
just shrink it a bit so it's
what
one,
it is.
one line, yeah.
Yeah.
Photos hop. Maybe they
Yeah,
wanted to
photos.
say hop.
Oh, yeah. Maybe it's like a play on
Could be,
words.
yeah. All right, here's another one. Oh, 10 years old, Van Damme.
Oh, wow. Great job, man.
It looks cool. I like that. It's a nice effect.
Yeah,
with
great
the
job.
text here in the back.
Yes. That's a creative one.
So yeah, I love to see young creators,
Oh, yes.
especially learning to use Adobe's products, Photoshop especially. Like you and I both learned it from a very young age, and growing up with it, it makes it seem second nature to us.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, when you reach that age of like 18
Mhm.
or whatever, you're looking for a job, you already got this down. If
Yeah,
you started at 10,
yeah.
you have eight years of experience.
Yeah.
It depends on how much pressure you put in yourself
Oh yeah, for sure.
to be better.
Yeah. Yeah. So just keep working at it. You'll be as
Yeah.
amazing as this guy right here
Oh,
very
thank
soon. All right. Still got some more invitations. All right, some more books.
Yeah.
The Joy of Photoshop. Oh, kind of like this cooking book, The Joy of Cooking.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I see. It's like a reference to
Yeah.
that.
I like
the
the
gold leaves.
Yeah, I like the gold.
It stands out really well in
Yeah.
the blue.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Let's see. Try to make an ABCs. So.
Oh, like an
taking-
ABC's book.
Yeah, yeah. And some fruits.
Yeah.
They drew those. This looks really good. All right. Got a lot of mixes of yesterday's challenge in here.
Yeah.
This one's nice and subtle. Photoshop Goes 30.
Yeah.
Looks like it. The effects on the letters. I like the hints of purple on the outside.
Yeah,
Not
it's
sure
like
how
a
they do
glow
that.
of purple.
Yeah.
I like that
Yeah.
little accent of that purple.
Yeah, I think because like using layer effects, using some of those like the drop shadow, inner glow, those types of things, I think is what people tried to concentrate on
Do here,
So
okay.
yeah.
That's cool.
Okay. And the last one, we got one in Japanese.
Alright.
Photoshopu. Nice. I like
Yeah.
that. That's really cool. We got the 30 in here and the PS and some of the marching ants.
That's cool. You know what
Yeah.
Japanese?
A bit.
I just heard
can
you
get
read
around.
that.
Yeah,
I was like, that's impressive.
yeah.
I want to learn Japanese.
Yeah, it's a fun language to learn.
Yeah, I've used Japanese on some of my posters, and
Mhm.
I always get comments like, "This doesn't make sense." And I'm like, "Ugh."
Just throw it into Google Translate.
Yes, that's
it's
what I
gotten a lot
do.
better. Google
Nothing,
Translate
nothing
has,
else I
but-
can do about that. Yeah, at least for now.
Yeah, like when we release new versions of the app, we have to get all of the description translated
Uh-huh.
into other languages, and we have a really good translation staff here to do it. But sometimes I'm like, oh, it's really quick. Can I just throw in Google Translate? Like, no,
Yes,
don't do that.
No, especially Japanese, Chinese,
Yeah, yeah.
some of these older languages. It's
Mhm.
like really tough for
Yeah.
Google to.
To figure out like the
To figure it out,
nuances and
yeah.
stuff. Yeah. Cool. I think that's the end of our submissions here. So
Cool.
we've got some time. We can continue working on.
Yeah,
your...
let's continue
yeah.
to make a few other options for these.
All right.
Yeah, so I added these layers in the back over here. I'm gonna add some shadows on this one as well. There we go. Just to separate it a tiny bit
Mhm.
from the one in front. Yeah, and I think this is good for one of the options.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, and like yesterday, you created 2 options.
yeah, so we can do.
Yeah, we got about a little over 20 minutes if you want to.
Oh yeah,
riff
so
on
let's create
something
another
else.
option for these, and then let's jump on maybe another. Not another poster, but talk about some of the posters that I've made and
Yeah,
some
okay.
questions that people might have.
Yeah, for sure.
So for these, if we wanted to make a little bit more of a different option, we could do these mountains. Let's overlay these mountains and do like gradients inside of
Okay.
them.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna give it a super cool flat look,
Mm-hmm.
which I like, and
Yeah.
I do a lot of on my work.
Yeah.
A better way to do it would be to actually do it with a brush.
Ah, you like your brush gradients.
Yes. Yeah. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll do some of that. Some of the blue in here.
Nice.
And we can actually like kind of leave it, like that if we wanted to show a little bit of the mountain on the
Yeah.
back. Again, some of this stuff I have no clue what I'm doing until I start doing it, and then I'm like, oh, it doesn't work, or it works.
Well, that's where some of the best results come out of, right? Like,
Yeah,
if you plan
exactly.
everything ahead of time, it's not always going to
Yeah.
look.
And give yourself that freedom,
Yeah.
if you're like working on things and you plan everything out
Yeah.
all the time. Make sure you take some time to also be creative
Mhm.
in the sense of like just have freedom with making different things. For this one, maybe I want to try one of these gradients that Photoshop already has
yeah.
built into it, because it's like
Some nice combinations
they're
there.
so good. So can you? Oh yeah, you can just drop it like that. And how can you?
Oh,
edit
I think
it?
it just fills the layer automatically, right? Or-
Yeah.
I haven't used
And
that
then
one
how
too
can
much.
you? I'm trying to make it smaller. Within that, can I use it? No. Yeah, I've never used gradients like this, so I'm trying to
Yeah.
figure it out with you guys. So if anybody has a clue how to do it,
I think it's going, so this gradient's going from left to right, even though what you're seeing there is right to left, so it's reversed.
oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, here
You
it
can
is.
probably change
Okay,
the
okay, okay.
angle.
Here it is. Trying to move it within this,
Mm-hmm.
kind of how you would do it on overlay. Maybe I can do it with overlay, right? With like gradient overlay.
Yeah, give it a try.
Yeah, let's do it right here. I feel like this is easier
There you
for
go.
some reason, or at least I'm more used to this
Yeah.
than I am used to the other one. Because with this one, I can make it smaller and then drag it.
Mhm.
Maybe I can't anymore. Here it is.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm liking that.
Yeah.
That's cool. And then what I want to do with the background here is separate the bottom from the top. So I'll just do right here.
Nice.
I just did it straight up.
Yeah.
Went with it. Now I'll do a gradient on top of that. Let's pick a cool gradient. Let's see what we have here.
Iridescent. Ooh.
Oh, these are cool. These are probably too soft,
Yeah.
right? Let me look for these purples. Purple. Maybe maybe the same one we use, but expand it a little more so it's more out. Screw it up and down. I used to be able to drag it. I don't know if you can do that anymore.
To drag it down?
Yeah, to like literally drag it with my mouse, you know, where I want it for it to go. Yeah, what I'm doing here is I'm adding
more color stops.
Yeah. I might need to expand it a little more. Yeah, but you see, I would like to move it down here. Maybe it's because of this. I don't know.
Maybe, so you had that align with layer, but now try move, since you unchecked it, now try moving on the...
Yeah, it's not.
I guess not.
Well, we're gonna do it manually. That's the cool thing about this. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So I'll keep that blue. That's the main color in the back.
Okay.
And then we'll do like this. Maybe add red.
Nice.
Here. Yeah, where's Paul when we need him?
He knows this inside and out.
Yeah, he knows all the little tricks.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, I'm happy with that. And then this one over here in the middle. We'll do a gradient again. Let's try that again. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'll paint it because I don't know what's going on there. Yeah. I'll just paint over that.
Yeah.
That way I can pick exactly what I want. I want to do lighter down here towards the
horizon.
Horizon, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
The base of the mountain.
And then maybe to contrast this.
Oh,
here we'll do like a blue. And again, we're trying to create balance here between these. I think there's already like a
oh, there's a layer on top of it.
there's a layer on top of it, yeah. Oops.
Oh yeah, it was when you made kind of the tips look a little yellowy.
Yeah.
I forget what layer that was, but it's in there.
Okay, yeah, I see what it is. It's this one right here. I'll get rid of
There
it.
you go.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna have to change the background because it really doesn't make sense now that for it to be
with the stars. It's gonna be more.
Maybe the stars is not the problem. Is the gradient? It's like there you go. It needs to be a little more
maybe
flat.
more yellow. Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah. I'm not. Over here on the ground. Could probably be cool to make the ground.
Gregory wants to see this in your shop when you're done.
Yeah, I'll put it in the shop.
Print, yeah.
Let me drop this on top. I have such a mess with these layers that I'm trying to go fast and it's like not working out.
Do you usually do all the layer diligence and naming and that kind of stuff when you have like client work and stuff?
Yeah, I really do, and I really do also with my work usually because I want to be able to go back and not have to like
figure out where things
get mad at myself for not doing it.
Yeah.
But in this case, I'm trying to do it in time and all of that. So I'm going.
We're making
faster.
you go fast.
Yes. All right. So, okay. I think I know. Okay, perfect. Let's grab this right here. Stuff underneath it. Boom. Okay. I just want to erase this a tiny bit, or like the opacity of it, to get some of the texture out.
Okay.
Out of it, maybe, I don't know. Maybe we try to erase it a little bit. Again, I'm missing my mask, so.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll try to figure out what's
Yeah,
going on there.
it probably just.
Paul can figure it out.
It freaked out, yeah. I freaked out a little bit. I'm gonna erase this a tiny bit around the edges.
What do you think you're gonna name this?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, so here, you know, we have the two options.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like the more realistic looking one, and then the more psychedelic, crazy one. Yeah, I don't know. Which one do you guys like better? Like this one or this one?
Yeah, let's see. So this is option 1.
Option 1 is a realistic one. Option two
two
is a crazy color one.
Yeah. Let's see what the chat thinks.
Yeah, and we can keep adding, you know, a little bit more of color. You know, from that to that. Black and white looks cool too.
It does look pretty. It's like I would see that in a museum. Just like
yeah, every time you have like a lot going on, if you make it black and white, it's almost like your eyes get to rest.
I do a lot with my photography.
Yeah.
I'll just throw it.
That looks
black and
cool.
white.
Yeah, it gives you a better sense of like if things are balanced or not. Sometimes they're not.
Yeah.
You gotta spend more time working on it.
A couple votes for 2, 1 vote for 1. Voodoo Val wants to see option 1 again, which is the stars.
Option 1 with just the stars?
No, which is the stars.
Oh, which is the stars, okay.
Another vote for 1.
1 and 2.
It's kind of even right now.
It is, right?
I think the chat has a little delay, so we'll see what more votes come in.
Okay. Yeah, let me erase a little bit more of this. Yeah, I think you know, closer to the water,
Yeah.
the more shadow you have on that, the more realistic it will look. So maybe erase a little bit more of that. I hate not having the mask, so I could just control what I'm doing, but hey, we'll roll with it. It's cool.
Looks like 1 might be leading the charge here, just barely.
Really?
Yeah. I think people like the stars. That's probably what it is.
Yeah, well, we can just, boom, add the stars to this one.
All right.
Approved. Send to print. Or we can add the stars to everything.
Into the mountains.
Yeah, something cool that we can do too is like actually do the stars.
Chris Haggett, this will be posted on Behance and our YouTube channel shortly after, so you can catch the end of this if you have to go.
Yeah, I wish I could have a mask, but you know, doing some
nice.
kind of the stars around
Or like around the head, right? Like just
around the globe.
Like that's the sun.
Also, something really cool that could happen here is like doing rocks falling from, you know, some of these.
Yeah.
I have something I've done in the past. It kind of has that rock texturing. Let me see if I can find it. Just to show how you can probably follow that even further. You know, you can add stars like this.
Yeah.
You know, like around the... Oh, is this a video again? Okay. Yeah, so adding stars like this around the center of the globe, you know, to make it, to give it that glow.
Yeah.
Obviously here there's a lot of color stuff that I did after this was done. And that's something I would just suggest doing. After you're done with this, let me save it as option 2 real quick. Something cool that you can do is like, let me grab my text.
Yeah, so anyone in the chat, if you want to ask questions for Magdiel, just put them in now. There's a little bit of delay to when you can read them, so then we'll wrap up in a minute or two to just get some questions, show some of his work and that kind of thing.
Yeah, so you can just grab, you know, this right here. Let's go to liquify. What I did is that I combined all the layers into one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you can really see what's everything that's outside of that. So let
Liquefy everything.
Let me just duplicate that. There you go. So now this won't have all of that.
So this is just a merged version of that layer, right?
It's a merged version of everything that we have so far. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna do this. Hopefully what we're gonna do is these lines. It's not doing it. Let's see the pressure. Flow, maybe. Yeah, I updated the Photoshop from. Remember, I was using the old version yesterday.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't have the settings that I usually use.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not doing it.
Why don't we do a recap of kind of the different types of edits you've done, like what the, you know, how you used shapes and the pen tool. Just kind of show, give them people a kind of wrap up of what techniques you use to create this.
Cool. I want to show these kind of like melted.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Thing you can do on top of everything. Like whenever you're done, you feel free to play with this. We can do something like this and then make that a different blending option, maybe. You know, like one of these.
Oh, kind of like a digital distortion type.
Yeah. So yeah, feel free to like mess with that too, because that's really fun.
Yeah.
And it's super easy to play with, and it gives it like a super cool look. You can see expanding here a little bit. It's making my computer slow. But yeah, there's something you can do. Give it the extra look. You know?
So with this, what we've done today, you know, used a lot of the pen tool. I guess you did some brush gradients.
Yeah.
Your own gradients with the brush.
A lot of creating with the pen tool, and then doing a lot of brush over everything. Doing a lot of coloring and trying to match the photos together, because we're using 1, 2, 3 different photos, and then we added the water as well, making that look more like water. Those are little things that, you know, take more time and slower process, you know, to achieve something that looks more realistic like this. Realistic, and then or like a surreal kind of look. And then we can do something like this as well that's out there a bit more.
Jan is asking, what's the normal pixel resolution of posters that you create?
300. Yeah, 300, and then I usually create it 18 by 24.
Okay.
I've
Inches
lowered inches, yeah. Yeah, because you can scale up a little bit more. This one is 9 by 11 at 300 dpi. So it's pretty big. You can print really well with this if you needed to. This little color, switch it back a little bit to bluish tint. There you go. So it was bothering me. Sorry.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
So
I'm happy with this.
About 3 minutes left if you want to show anything on your portfolio
Cool,
that you want to talk about.
Yeah, so I was just talking about that rock look that's falling from, that you could do like it's falling from the face. You can do something like this, you know.
Oh, nice.
It's kind of the same look,
floating,
but you can see, you know, it's more time here, like creating each little rock. And you can do the same thing, make the rocks look like a cracking, maybe falling from the edges.
Like pieces coming out.
Like
right?
pieces
like
coming. That would make it so much better.
Yeah.
And even adding like a layer on top of these that has like a texture, maybe like a camera lens kind of deal. All of those things would like elevate these so much more. I did a few options with this, and then I have a video here on my Instagram. So go ahead and go to my Instagram for
you've got
stuff like this.
The time lapse, right? To show a lot of like creation.
Yeah.
Look at that pen tool.
And then the warp.
Oh, you warped him. Oh, that's kind of cool. To make him look like he was like flying a little bit.
Yeah, because he was standing on the photo. Yeah, so I wanted to look like that. A lot of shattering. Kind of exactly what we did today.
Yeah.
And then grabbing these rocks and warping them to make them look like they're around him, doing these lights.
Yeah, like
you can do
like,
so many things.
fireflies.
So fun, you know? So yeah, go
How
ahead.
long did you think this took you?
Same around the time that it took us today, like, you know, an hour, 2 hours. When you start adding elements to it, it gets like to the 2 hour period, because it's like you got so many little things that you want to make look great. Yeah, you can also, over here you see, you know, a little bit more work with light coming out. You could also do that around these. Imagine if this light was really strong and it's coming out of that. You can spend some more time doing that as well.
Look at the flowers. Someone earlier asked, "Where are the flowers today?" But
maybe we can do flowers tomorrow and do like a helmet and do flowers and do colors and all of that fun stuff. I'm trying to look for more references that tie to what we did today. I have one
that's
that, yeah, this one's like falling. You see the little rocks
Oh,
falling on the bottom
yeah,
here.
yeah. Just
You can
those-
probably do something like
A little bit
that.
of crumbling.
Yeah, or I did one a while ago.
Yeah.
We got to
All right.
wrap up.
Oh yeah. So we hope that you guys really enjoyed. You all really enjoyed what Magdiel did today. We will be back tomorrow for our third session. So
Yes.
it'll be a surprise as to what he works on today. But also make sure, or works on tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Make sure tomorrow if you want to join the daily challenge for Photoshop or XD or Illustrator, those will be posted, I believe, tomorrow morning. So we'd love to review your work
Yeah.
again tomorrow, same time, same place. And yeah,
Thank you
we'll
for
see
joining.
we'll see you all tomorrow.